Hello everybody, welcome to Two Shadow Production. On tonight's horror story, we'll be talking about Krampus, a mythical being there to represent Saint Nicholas, better known as Santa. Subscribe and like for more videos like this. Let's begin. A brutal winter storm buries the small alpine town of Holzbrunn. Snow whips across narrow streets. Christmas lights flicker as if struggling to stay alive. Far in the distance, carried by the wind, faint bells jingle, slow, uneven, wrong. Ella, who is 17, anxious and studious, helps her mother close her nearly empty library. Candles burn because the power is unreliable. We'll finish locking up after you put the folklore books back, Mother says. Ella carries a stack of old Alpine folklore volumes. One book is darker, bound in cracked leather, held shut with a clasp. Its title, The Schwarz Winter, Tales of Krampus. The clasp opens on its own. A page flips. A passage is written in smeared ink. When the bells echo before the storm, the unrepentant are claimed. Ella's breath fogged, even though the library is warm. Ella and her mother step out. The wind is loud. Snow piles fast. Ella freezes. Down the street, a massive shadow crosses between buildings. Too tall to be human. Too wide. Something dragging behind it. Chains. A sack. The bells jingle again. Mother says, Ella, are you alright? Ella says nothing. The horned silhouette stands at the end of the road, not moving, but definitely watching. The family gathers for a simple dinner. The storm rages outside. The power flickers. Ella quietly reads more of the books under the table. Ella touches her pocket. She hides a guilty look. Ella mocks a quiet girl, Lena, about handmade Christmas gifts. Her friends laugh. Lena's face crumples, and she runs away. Ella doesn't chase her. Back to present. Ella looks sick with guilt. The wind grows louder. Ella is scratching at her window. Not across the glass, along the wall, as if the claws are moving just beneath the wood. She approaches the window. A clawed hand slams against it from outside. Ella screams and backs up. The bells jingle low and slow. Ella looks looks again. Nothing there. Only a reflection in the frost. Suddenly, behind her, in the reflection, horns. She spins around. Empty room. Ella runs outside toward Lena's house, the book clutched in her coat. Snow swirls violently. She hears chains dragging, then a deep breath. Not human. Krampus emerges from the darkness, a towering creature with twisted goat horns, mangled fur, glowing ember eyes. Its sack squirms as if something trapped inside is still moving. It points a claw towards Ella. Ella falls into the snow. Ella pounds on the door. Lena, please, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No answer. The bells are almost on top of her now. Ella turns. Krampus is already halfway up the porch steps, moving impossibly fast for such a heavy creature. He opens his sack. Inside, shredded toys, broken ornaments, and small hands. Not dead. Twitching. Ella screams. Suddenly, the door opens. Lena pulls her inside. Lena slams the door. The bells stop as if Krampus refuses to cross. Lena's living room glows with warm lights and handmade decorations. Ella collapses. I hurt you. I'm so sorry. I don't want him to take me. Lena kneels beside her. Then tell the truth out loud. Ella sobs. I was cruel. I was jealous of your kindness. I hurt you and I knew it. Lena hugs her. A sudden, thunderous roar outside, then silence. Ella inches to the window. Krampus stands in the snow, bells still, head bowed as if disappointed. Slowly, he turns and walks back into the blizzard, sack dragging behind him. The storm breaks. Light returns. Footprints lead out of town, and then stop abruptly, as if the creature stepped into nothing. Ella returns the dark folklore book, but the last page has changed. Some are claimed, some are spared. Winter remembers. Ella shivers. A snowstorm howls over a dark, isolated road. Headlights cut through the white out. Beat skidding on ice. Inside, Eric, in his mid-40s, a tired, rough around the edges man, grips the wheel. On the passenger seat, a half-wrapped Christmas present and an empty thermos. The radio hisses between stations, catching fragments of Christmas music. A faint jingle of bells filter in over the static. Eric frowns, taps the radio. The bells get louder, offbeat, uneven, and wrong. He turns the radio off. The bells continue. What the? He glances in the rearview mirror. A huge shape briefly crosses behind the truck. Horned, tall, then gone. Eric jerks the wheel, heart pounding. Outside, snow whips past. The bells fade. He exhales. Eric just adrift, just the wind. Something thuds onto the truck bed behind him. Eric jolts, looks in the rear view again. A dark mass shifts under the snow on the back of the truck. Chains glint in the headlights behind. Hey, get off my truck! He slows, reaching for a mag light. Suddenly, something huge slams against the rear window with an inhumane snarl. We barely glimpse a goat-like muzzle, yellow eyes, and a curved horn. Eric screams. The truck fishtails. The truck spins and crashes into a snowbank with a crunch of metal and shattering glass. Silence. Snow falls gently. The driver's door creaks open. No one steps out. Behind the truck, towering in the blizzard, stands Krampus, fur matted with ice, massive horns twisting from its skull, chains wrapped around its torso, a huge sack at its side. The bells hang from its belt, motionless now. Krampus stoops, drags something invisible out of the truck. We don't see what. Just Eric's boots sliding through the snow, leaving a trail that abruptly vanishes. The bells jingle once, softly. A wooden sign half buried in snow. Welcome to Wolfskisten. Population 1,204. Christmas lights flicker along the main street, fighting the storm. A modest, cozy house. A fire crackles. It's warm, lived in, slightly cluttered with boxes of decorations. Alex Hartman, 16, sharp-eyed, sarcastic, sits on the couch scrolling on their phone. Wears a hoodie, chipped black nail polish. That too cool for this teen energy. Mia, 10, Alex's younger sister, kneels by the coffee table, carefully placing handmade paper ornaments in a box. Dad, in his late 30s, fights with a strand of tangled Christmas lights. Grandma Liesel, mid-70s, stern but loving, sits in an armchair, knitting red yarn. A small brass bell hangs from her waist. The wind howls outside. The lights flicker. Dad says to himself, "Come on, don't die on me today." Mia says, "Alex, can you hang out in the glue?" Alex doesn't look up. "That's your imaginary elf." Mia frowns. "He's not imaginary. Oma says the bells keep bad things away." Alex mimics the bell with a mocking jingle sound. "Yeah, the big bad things are terrified of accessories." Grandma Liesel looks up sharply. "Respect the bells, Alex." The room quiets a bit. Wind rattles the window. "They're just old metal." Grandma's eyes don't leave Alex. "They are old. Yes, older than you. Older than this town. Some things stay away when they hear them. Some, not so easily." Dad chuckles, trying to lighten the mood. "It's Christmas Eve. We're not telling goblin stories." "Not goblins. Krampus." Mia perks up, intrigued. Alex rolls their eyes. "Tell it, Oma, please." Grandma sets her knitting aside. The red yarn dangles like a thin trail of blood. The fire flickers low. "Every winter, when the snow is deepest, something walks the roads. Horns tall as doorways, hooves that leave no tracks when the night is done." Alex mutters under their breath. Could have just said elk. "Not elk, Krampus. He comes for the unbound." Mia shivers. "What's unbound?" Grandma gestures to the mantel. There, hanging among the stockings, is a red woven ribbon, tied in a loop. "We bind ourselves to our promises, not to our family, to our repentances. Those who lie, who harm, who refuse to admit what they have done, they are the unbound. Krampus smells that on them, hears it in the silence between their words." Alex smirks, glancing at their phone. On the screen is a text thread. "Dad's making us do weird pagan rope stuff again, lol. Might finally get sacrificed." Alex types, smirking. At least it'd be less awkward than this. Grandma gets up with the effort, moving to a small wooden box on a side table. She opens it. Inside, several ribbons, each braided and threaded with tiny silver bells. She hands one to Mia and one to Alex. Tonight we bind, you speak the truth, or wrong, and you promise not to repeat it. The ribbon hears, so does he. Mia ties her around her waist, immediately, eyes closed. I stole chocolate from Dad's drawer. I'm sorry, I won't do it again. The bells on her ribbon give a soft, harmonious chime. Dad pretends to be offended. My secret stash, traitor. Mia giggles, relieved. Grandma turns to Alex, offering the ribbon. Your turn. Alex stares at the ribbon in their hand, expression hardening. We flash quickly. Back to present. Alex swallows. This is stupid. You two have done things. Everyone has. That's what being human is. No, that's what excuses are. Beat. Alex tosses the ribbon back into the box. I'm not playing Witchy Confession Night. The bell on Grandma's wrist gives a sharp, discordant ring. The wind suddenly hits the house harder. The lights flicker. Mia clutches her own ribbon. Alex, please just do it. Alex grabs their coat off the chair. I'm going to the store before this whole place short circuits. We're out of hot chocolate anyways. Alex, the roads. I'll walk. It's like 3 blocks, I'm not 5. Grandma steps closer, eyes fierce. Do not leave unbound tonight. Alex yanks the door open. A blast of cold air and snow rushes in. I'll risk it. They slam the door behind them. The bells on Mia's wrist chime anciently. Snow whips past. The street is mostly deserted. Shops dark behind frosted windows. Alex trudges along, hands shoved in pockets, hoodie up. The only light come from weak street lamps, halos of yellow in the storm. Their phone buzzes. On screen is a text from Luke. They said you didn't mean it, did you? Alex hesitates, then shoves the phone away, jaw tight. A faint jingling of bells echo behind them. Alex stops, glances back. The street is empty, just swirling snow. Alex says to themselves, thanks, Omar. Audio hallucinations included. Alex keeps walking. sounds grow louder, but still with no clear direction, as if they're coming from everywhere, bouncing off the snow. The wind shifts, a low, guttural breath right over it. Alex's footsteps slow ahead between two buildings. Something large moves for a split second. Horns, a hunching bulk. Alex freezes. Hello? No answer. Just the blowing snow. They take out their phones, flick on the flashlight. The beam cuts through the storm, landing on two moved footprints in the otherwise untouched snow, each as big as dinner plates. The prints led straight toward them, then vanished halfway. Alex's breath quickens visibly in the cold. No, I'm not drunk enough for this. They turn to head back home. Standing at the far end of the street is a tall, horned silhouette, still watching. The faint outline of bells glint at its waist. Alex's phone screen flickers, then dies despite a nearly full battery. Come on, seriously? The silhouette takes one heavy step forward. The bells jingle. Alex bolts, sprinting down a side alley. Trash cans, old wooden crates, drifting snow. Alex slips, recovers, ducks behind a dumpster, gasping for breath. The bells get closer, a steady, patient rhythm. A shadow stretches along the alley wall. Horns, claws, chains. Alex covers their mouth, shaking. The shadow stops just at the corner. We hear a low growl, almost curious. Snowflakes drift through the alley like ash, then silence. Alex waits, heart pounding. A hand, long, clawed, half fur, half blackened skin, wraps around the top edge of the dumpster and slowly pulls it away. An inch. Alex screams and dives out the other side, sprinting toward the street, slipping and scrambling. Alex bursts out of the alley and nearly collides with Sheriff Keller. In his 50s, thick coat, snow-crusted hat, and a flashlight in hand. Whoa, easy, Harmon. Someone's following me, or something. It had horns. Keller shines his flashlight down the alley. Nothing there, just a wind. Probably just that stag that breaks into the dumpsters every year, Big bastard antlers like a chandelier. Alex stares at the empty alley. Then back to Keller. The jingle of bells is gone. You shouldn't be out here in this storm. Your dad's probably losing his mind. He rests, a reassuring hand on Alex's shoulder, guiding them toward home. Come on, I'll walk you back. As they move off, we pan up to the rooftops. On a nearby roofline, silhouetted against the snow-choked sky, Krampus crouches, watching. Its eyes burn faintly, the bells at its waist are motionless. The front door bursts open. Alex and Sheriff Keller step in, bringing a blast of snow and cold. Mia rushes over, ribbon jingling. Alex, you were gone forever. Grandma and Dad appear from the kitchen. You okay? Alex hesitates, glancing at everyone's worried faces. I'm fine. I slipped. Sheriff just found me being dramatic. Keller chuckles, brushing snow off his shoulders. Nothing I couldn't handle. Roads are getting ugly, though. Might get cut off if this gets up. Grandma's eyes flicks to Alex's empty wrist. You still refuse the binding then? Alex looks away. Yeah, still's an atheist, with commitment issues. Mia tugs on Alex's sleeve. Please, Alex, just in case. Alex pulls away, uneasy. It's just a ribbon and bells, Mia. Grandma sighs, goes to the window. Outside, snow slashes sideways in thick sheets. The fire flickers lower. The room darkens. Suddenly, the lights flicker hard, then go out. The house plunges into darkness. Mia yelps. Dad curses under his breath. Breaker again. I'll check the box. I'll grab my flashlight from the porch. As he opens the door, a howl of wind slams into the house, nearly knocking him back. For a moment, in the white blur outside, we see a taller shadow across the way. Horns, wide shoulders, but when lightning flickers distantly, it's gone. Keller disappears onto the porch. Grandma reaches to the coffee table, snatches up a small brass candle holder and some matches. Mia, help me with the candles. Mia nods, trying to be brave. Alex stands alone, staring at the dark window from outside, faint, almost polite. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Alex stiffens. Did you hear that? It's just the lines, stay put. But Grandma hears it too. Her face tightens. Bring me the ribbons. Mia grabs the wooden box. scared. Alex stares, a creeping dread in their eye. What is happening? Grandma doesn't sugarcoat. You walked out into the night, unbound. You lied about being safe. You lied about nothing following you. Beat. Alex swallows. I didn't lie, the sheriff said. He said it was probably just a deer. And you believed him? She holds Alex's gaze. Alex's facade cracks. We flash again. Back to present. Alex's shivers despite the indoor chill. No. The bells outside grow louder now, coming closer, dragging, rattling. Jingle, clank, jingle, clank. Mia squeezes Alex's hand. Alex. The front door creaks softly, not fully opening, just testing. Everyone freezes. Hartman? I think someone's... His voice cuts off with a choked grunt. Something heavy drops against the door from outside, making it shudder in its frame. Mia screams. Dad sprints towards the hall. Keller! He reaches for the doorknob. Grandma steps between him and the door with surprising speed. Her bell ringing sharply. Do not open that door. He could be her. He is, and opening that door will not unhurt him. The door handle twitches, turning partway, then stops. A deep, snorting sound seeps through the wood. The smell of wet fur and ash in the air, even from inside. Mia sobs, clinging to Alex. Is he going to come in? Grandma turns to Alex. Not while we are bound. Not if we deny him his prize. I'm not. I don't believe. Belief is not the same as guilt. She thrusts a ribbon and Bella towards Alex again. Last chance. Bind yourself to the truth. The bells outside suddenly fall silent. That quiet is worse. Alex hears only their own ragged breath. Mia's soft, gulping sobs. Dad's tense silence. What if talking doesn't fix what I did? Nothing fixes everything, but Krampus doesn't take the repentant. He takes the proud, the one who would rather be damned than admit they were cruel. Alex looks at Mia's terrified face, at Dad, at Grandma, who is scared but steady, hands shaking. Alex takes the ribbon. The room is lit with several small candles now, their light flickering over tense faces. The storm outside something is slowly walking the perimeter. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Alex holds the ribbon, but hasn't tied it yet. If I do this, we're safe. Safer. Mia sits next to Alex, her own ribbon bright against her pale wrist. She nods encouragingly, though tears cling to her lashes. Please, Alex, just say it. Alex takes a deep breath. The words seem physically heavy. I hurt someone at school. Dad looks over, surprised. What? Alex keeps going, faster now, as if afraid they'll stop. This kid Luke, everyone picked on him, and I joined in, pushed him, took his phone. I sent a stupid video to everyone. He didn't come back to school after that. The bells outside jangle once, sharply, almost angrily. A low growl vibrates through the walls, and when they asked, I told them it was a joke and he was too sensitive. I said it wasn't my fault. Tears now. I lied to Dad, I lied to the principal, I lied to myself. I knew I hurt him and I didn't care enough to stop. The house shudders as something heavy drags its claws along the siding. Paint peels, wood creaks. Mia whimpers, covering her ears. Make him stop. Alex looks at the ribbon in their hands. Tie it. Tie yourself to your promise. And what if I break it? Grandma holds out her wrist, showing her own faded, worn ribbon, bells tarnished with age. Then you'll tie another, and another, each time closer to the person you should have been from the start. Outside, the bells pick up speed, moving towards the front door again. Jingle clank, jingle clank. The front door creaks under an invisible weight. A giant shadow glides across the frosted window. A too long arm, a glimpse of horn. The door frame groans. Alex, sobbing now, wraps the ribbon around their waist, fumbling with the knot. I promise I won't pretend it wasn't me. I'll tell Luke I'm sorry. I'll take whatever he thinks is fair. I won't hide it from anyone anymore. They pull the knot tight. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, the tiny bell on the ribbon gives a clear, bright, harmonious chime. The fire suddenly flares up, burning higher, brighter. Outside, the bells on Krampus's belt go completely silent. pressure on the door eases. The creaking stops. Silence. Everyone waits, breath held. Slowly the sound of the storm returns to normal. Just wind and snow. Mia opens her eyes. Is he gone? Grandma listens, eyes closed. In the distance, faint and receding. Jingle, jingle, fading into the night. She lets out a slow breath. For now, Dad still looks shaken. You're telling me that thing was here because Alex? Grandma raises a hand. Because Alex was unbound, now they're not. She looks at Alex, softer now. You still have people to face. A boy to apologize to, a town to be honest with. That will be harder than any monster. Alex wipes their eyes, nodding. I know. From the porch, there's a soft thump. Everyone tenses. Dad cautiously moves to the door, cracks it open just enough to look. On the snow-covered porch lies Sheriff Keller, unconscious but breathing, frost crusting his beard. No sign of blood, no wounds, just dropped there. Next to him, half buried in snow, is a single black hoof print. It melts slowly, steaming in the cold. Dad calls out inside. He's alive. Power is back. The lights are on. Sheriff Keller sits on the couch, a blanket over his shoulders, sipping hot tea. He looks confused. Last thing I remember, I heard bells, like the old Christmas parade we used to have, but wrong. Then something grabbed my coat and nothing. He rubs the back of his neck, shivering. Must have slipped. I hit my head. Grandma and Dad exchange a look. Neither argue. Mia sits close to Alex, holding onto their sleeve. On Alex's wrist, the ribbon is snug. The small bells glint gently. Their phone buzzes. Alex picks it up. A new message from Luke. Can we talk after Christmas? I got your voice message. Alex looks startled. What did you send him? Alex swallows. A real apology. Before the lights went out. Mia smiles relieved. Grandma returns to her chair, picks up her knitting. Remember this night, all of you. Krampus is not the monster under the bed. He is the one in the mirror, when we refuse to see what we've done. Alex looks at the reflection in the dark window. Tired, red-eyed, but somehow lighter. Outside, the storm begins to calm. Snow still falls, but more gently now. The town sleeps, lights dim behind curtains. At the far edge of Wolfskirchen, near the wooden welcome sign, a taller figure stands partly obscured by drifting snow. Krampus. He looks back at the town with burning eyes. In one clawed hand, he holds a red ribbon that looks freshly snapped. Its bells silent and broken. Somewhere not here, somewhere else, has refused the binding. Krampus turns massive horns, cutting a silhouette against the white. He trudges off into the forest, chains dragging, sack slung over his shoulder. As he walks, his bell